Live here at Chiropractic Company in Glendale. Once again, I'm Dr. Alan Van Scoyk, chiropractor owner here in the office, and I'm joined by Dr. Botros. Today we have an interesting topic that several patients actually over the past week have asked me about. And that topic is, can children get subluxated? And can they get, in general, subluxations? So first off, let's break down what a subluxation is, because this is really kind of the central focus of chiropractic care. Subluxation breaks down into two parts of the word, sub and luxation. Sub traditionally means less than, and luxation breaks down to a dislocation. So in chiropractic terms, a subluxation means that the bone is shifted but less than dislocated. Under these circumstances, if the bone shifts, it starts to go into positions that it's not supposed to be, and it creates irritations which don't feel good. But as that bone continues to shift, it can cause other problems, other inflammation, irritation to the nerves, muscles, and ligaments. I always talk about, think of it as a Jenga game, a big tower of Jenga blocks, and someone has taken one of the blocks and kind of pushed it over a little bit. Now, the tower hasn't fallen yet, but it's not very stable. So if we can push those blocks back in place, now the tower gets to be strong and stable and functions like it's supposed to. So, can children get these subluxations, and why do they happen overall? What do you think, Dr. Botros?
Absolutely. So the thing with children is a lot of times they have a lot of energy, and so they're bouncing off the walls, sometimes figuratively, sometimes literally, and they're falling a lot, and they'll just brush it off and get right back up and continue playing. They're in a very curious brain developmental state, so they're constantly exploring things, maybe things they shouldn't always be exploring, and twisting themselves up and laying in certain positions that might not be ergonomic or very good for the spinal and the nervous system as well. We also see with very, very young kids, like newborn infants, that the birthing process can also be quite traumatic too. The baby is typically grabbed from the head and twisted. We see even after that, mothers tend to breastfeed more on one side versus the other. So the baby is constantly turning their neck towards one side versus the other. And these, again, over time can cause those subluxations and prevent, optimal growth and development for that infant as well.
These are very classic traumatic lifestyle things that can happen to children. And as we know, when kids are very, very young, they're growing so fast and they're changing so fast. So these small subluxations just can end up rippling as they grow. And if they're not corrected properly, then once again, they can lead to developmental issues as the child continues. So we look into those physical stresses very, very closely with children. Once again, from a very, very tiny all the way up until they become an adult. Now there's a couple other things that can lead to subluxations as well. In addition to just some other physical things, there's some chemical things that can lead to different subluxations as their body's processing all these new chemicals and all these new things and stimuluses in their body. Sometimes it becomes overwhelming to them, and it can lead to other inflammation and other stresses that once again lead to these subluxations. Now, with very little children, there's not much of the emotional stress. However, as we start getting into adolescence and into teenage years, psychological stress becomes very hard on kids.
Oh yeah, especially too when we look at backpacks. I remember back when I was in school, high school even, we would carry so many books, and the cool kids would typically have their backpack on one shoulder, and so they're constantly carrying it this way. And also we see that during that age, typically that's when you start noticing signs of something called scoliosis too. And these are always things that we always want to catch earlier than later, because the treatment tends to be a lot more favorable when we catch these issues sooner than as opposed to if their body developed into adulthood for many years or even decades.
We get a great opportunity to catch it as they're growing, so we can guide them and shape those changes so that as they become good adults, once again, their body is strong and healthy and able to support this. And this was one of the other reasons why I wanted to do this topic. Not only did we have a lot of patients ask us to do it, but when I go home and I visit with my own children that are currently studying at home, I noticed that their ergonomics and their posture is terrible. When they're at school, they're sitting in chairs and on desks, but many times I come home and they're sitting on the couch with their laptop pulled up and they're twisted up and turned in a chair in positions that are just horrible for their body. And there's been numerous times when I've come home and literally I walk in the door and my daughter will say, "Dad, I need to get adjusted. My neck is killing me." And I've said, "What did you do all day?" And she's laying there on the couch like this going, I don't know why I'm having these issues." So once again, we need to make sure that our children are not having these subluxations, especially during the study at home period for the COVID issues. So once again, if you want to have more information about this, don't hesitate, come and talk to us. We'll be happy to talk to you about it. You can leave comments and questions for us. You can contact us at our website, through our own emails, or even just call the office. Once again, chiropracticcompany.com or chiropracticco.com, either one, you'll be able to access us. We're in the Glendale office, and our office number is 414-332-0859. Please let us know if you have any other topics or things that you want us to discuss on our Friday Facebooks. Otherwise, I'll see you later in the office. Take care of yourselves.